following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, and welcome to Shit Show Team Point Oh. I messed it up because it's supposed to be a shit show, right? But I just want to welcome Rooftop Deplorable. He's a friend of mine on X, and he's going to join me tonight as we talk about all the shit that's going on.
Thanks for having me on, Janet.
You doing good?
Oh, yeah. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Not so bad. I mean, I wish we didn't have so much shit going on, but besides that, I guess I'm doing pretty good. And I want to play this special video as a token of my esteem or our esteem for all the people who sacrificed for us. And I'm going to play it right now. Here we go. Almost makes me cry every time I hear that song. But yeah, it's a sad day, you know, for today to be the day that for me to have my shit show. But you know, I'm a proud American.
Well, thanks for putting together that nice slideshow. It was a good tribute, and you know, as we honor and remember their sacrifice, appreciate it. And yeah, it's a good day. There's a lot of people broadcasting from Normandy today, and I think I saw a video of French high school students showing their appreciation. So, you know, as much as we think of it as a shit show in this world, there's pockets of awesomeness, and it was great to see that.
Well, I've seen, I spend a lot of time on X, and I know I spend more time on here than you do. I do a lot of crafting and stuff while I listen to Spaces and stuff, you know, and go up and down people's timelines and things like that. But the thing is, I'm seeing more and more people, it seems like they're coming together, wanting to do more for their communities and stuff. So hopefully, I think things are going to get worse, but I'm trying to keep an open mind, and hopefully things will get better. And more people will come together and we start helping our neighbors like we used to. I mean, how long has it been since somebody's come over to your house and borrowed a cup of sugar? Or can I borrow your vacuum cleaner? Or any of those things. People don't socialize like they used to when I was a little girl. And I remember, you know, people 6 houses down would come and borrow my mom's vacuum cleaner or something like that, or flour or something for cooking. You don't do that now. Nobody does it. I don't hear of anyone having something. I mean, I have friends that live near where I'm at now. They haven't had a single trick-or-treater in like 7 years. So it's like, you know, it's like it's not the same place it was when, you know, when it comes to families that I grew up seeing when I was young.
That is sad. I still have neighbors, you know, borrow things back and forth. Hey, can I borrow a power tool so I don't have to just, if I'm going to use a Dremel for like making some guitar picks, I don't want to buy the whole thing at Home Depot. Yeah, I mean, there's some friends, you know, that you can borrow stuff from. And by the way, hello to the chat.
Yeah,
I'm not logged in as
I was going to go down.
So hi, I think it was Danny and Six Nations and Snortapoopas. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not logged into to YouTube, so I won't be typing in the chat, but I wanted to acknowledge that you're all here. Thanks for coming to the show. But yeah, the whole thing about knocking on a neighbor's door, making eye contact and asking, hey, can I, Oh, you have something nice. I do like to share. Whenever I'm cooking food now, I know some neighbors that appreciate my cooking, so I love to share because it's usually way too much for me to eat alone.
Well, I see all your food that you share on your timeline, and it's like, damn, I wish he could cook for me sometime. But I know you're in California, so it's a long ways away. But you're just always so busy, doing something. You're always on the road, it seems like, or hiking or doing something like that. So that's good. I'm very active too, because I have chickens and I have, area to take care of, big yard, and a house. And I do work, but it's like in between things because I do a lot of promo stuff, and then I work on my art and stuff like that. But I go to the gym every other day. At least I try to. It's not that easy, especially when you have lots of tornadoes or other bad
Oh
weather.
dear.
Makes it tough. But you sink in a half a foot when you're wearing your boots to go out to the coop or anything like that because of the soggy. It's just rain. I don't know. It just seems weird that
Oh,
we've had so much rain.
you have
So,
farm fresh eggs though. That's good, right?
well, yeah, and I give them away all the time. I'll call my sisters. I have one that lives, like 2 miles that way, and another one was like 4 miles that way. And I
Lucky.
call and say, "Hey, do you guys need eggs?" Yeah, I'll come by and get them, and then they don't, so I have to go
Nobody
get
should turn
them.
down fresh eggs, especially
But
when you
yeah,
offer them,
but
Janet, and a visit from you.
well, the thing is, tonight I wanted to talk about the Hunter laptop fiasco, basically, because
Okay.
a couple years back when it first came out, all my friends on YouTube were sharing all these little mini bites and files and photographs. It was Hunter Biden naked here, naked there, naked everywhere, smoking crack, and it was just, it's pathetic. And everybody was saying, "Oh my God, that's horrible." And then they were saying that they thought he has niece in a couple videos, and then Obama's daughter was in a credit card name was on there making lines out of Coke, and just tons of stuff. And we were all talking about it, and we were all getting in trouble. Okay, on Twitter, we were told it was false
Or
information. On
Facebook. Yeah, exactly.
Facebook, yeah, all the places were saying it was fake. It was Russian misinformation, blah blah blah, and just like the PP dossier, and it's all coming out that all of this is real. But what's wonderful is the fact that this is real. It's getting proven real. But the first thing I want to share with everyone is this thing that I found, and it's about the intelligence experts supposedly. Can you see this? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so to make sure, because I'm on a different screen when I scroll and stuff. But basically, it says spies who lie. Okay, 51 intelligence experts refuse to apologize for discrediting true Hunter Biden story. And I'm going to share this link in the chat for everyone so you can go back and look at the rest of it, because it is a really whole gobs of information on here. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, but it's got some really good visuals if you want to see some more shit that was on the laptop. But basically, they did nothing but push. It was Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, everybody beat us over the head that it was fake. Okay. So, and that Trump was probably behind it because they tried to link Trump, with Russia, with the PP dossier and all the other stuff that was fake. So this, to me, was all interference in elections. All of this. And this was done by the FBI and all these people that are listed in this article. But I'm going to share this real quick. Let me get this, this right here, copy. And go back to us and put it in the chat, because this has got some really good, juicy tidbits in it if you get a chance to sit down and read it. But it's sad. I mean, what do you think about them getting away with it for this long, knowingly lying to all of us?
These people have no shame. I can't. I'm not surprised that they don't want to own up to it or have any accountability. They think they can just escape the reckoning, and it's sad because they said it without shame. They knew what they were doing. They knew that this thing existed. I mean,
yeah.
And the worst thing about it was those of us that were punished, like for, if we're going to talk about lab leaks, or we're going to talk about the Hunter laptop. I mean, later on, it'll all come to light. But at the moment, they seem to want to control the propaganda and the things, and it affected an election. It did. I mean, there are people that may have made a different decision, and it's shameful, horrible behavior. But the one good thing about the Hunter Biden trial, the first one right now, is that the laptop has been entered into evidence. It's on public record. It's universally has to be acknowledged as existing, right? And all the stuff on it, because I mean, who else but Creepy Joe's crackhead son would film himself doing everything? And I mean, if you want to lie on a 4473 form to buy a gun, I mean, I don't know anybody else that would try to film themselves doing so much crack. It's
to me, I had a couple friends when I was in junior high, and that were assaulted by their parent. One of them got pregnant, and her mother took her to get an abortion. It was a big mess, and my mother was one of the only ones that got a hold of the police and was trying to give them information and stuff to help her get away from her family, because I had went over there and stayed at night a few times and would tell my mom, what stuff that I would see and how he talked to his daughter and stuff. It was horrendous. And the thing is, she was always doing that. She was always trying to do stuff to make her dad proud of her, because he was abusing her and telling her all the time she was a piece of trash and how horrible she was, and that no one would ever love her because she was ugly, fat. None of those things were true. I mean, she was beautiful, and she had long brown hair, and she was just sweet as could be. But she had a mother would sit at the table with her head down, looking at her plate, and her brother would do the same thing. And the whole time he's belittling her. It was horrible. So she started staying at my house a lot until finally the police took care of it. But he ended up dying of throat cancer, her dad, like 5 years after that whole thing. So he did, he went where he belonged. But the thing is, children do nothing but try to, push themselves onto those parents, the ones that are abusing them, either beating them verbally or whatever, and to try to get them to love them, because they don't understand what's wrong with them, that dad or mom is treating me like this. What did I do? Why do they not like me? Then as they get older, they turn it out on other people. They become bullies, or they do drugs, and it just ruins their whole life. And that's what I see when I was sitting and listening to some of these things, spaces, and talking about this 600 something pages of documents that we're able to get off of this laptop to use in court. So now that it's in there, it's now going to be legal to be able to use it for all the other shit that's on this laptop, for whatever other cases and what other people they're going to end up charging, which I hope they do. I'm shocked that they're even releasing it now. It just seems kind of weird that right before the election, they throw Biden's son and Biden under the bus, basically, by proving that everything on the laptop is real. Why? Why are they getting rid of him? Is he, outworn his usefulness? I don't know. I don't understand, but all I know is it's disgusting. And Hunter is exactly who his father created. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he had a 13-year-old Jill Biden babysitting for him and his brother, Bo. Okay. And she was probably sleeping with him, with Joe. Okay. And now he's married to her, after his wife dies. But it's just sick. I mean, all of it's sick. And there's a lot of weird text messages and stuff like that between Hunter and his dad on this laptop that's in this 630 something pages. But the thing that I want to share next was something that I thought was really interesting by following this gentleman, Dustin Stockton, on X. I started going to his spaces and stuff like that, because he's just really good at speaking, explaining things to people, and getting you to want to listen to them. I mean, that's what we need. We need people that are able to communicate with just regular day people, because those are the ones walking around going, what are you talking about? They still don't know about it. I can't believe how many people I talk to every month that still think the PP dossier is real, Okay. And some people still driving down the road by themselves in a car wearing a mask. We are all like seeing all these people that are walking around like zombies programmed to do whatever the government tells them because they think that they're looking out for their best interests. And it's sad, really sad. But you want to say anything before I
Oh yeah, I mean, about that whole thing, I mean, all the things that they did during the lockdowns for those of us that were extremely stepped on in the blue states, man, the compliance test obviously worked. You see how many people, these weirdos, like wearing the masks now, proud to do it, scared of the world. It's I have to mock it. I have to laugh because I mean, that's what you do. I mean, it's not normal, but so many brains have been broken, not just by TDS, by all the other stuff. But I wanted to say one last thing before you show that is that before Biden, Creepy Joe, Poopy Joe, failed us as POTUS, I mean, he failed as a parent and as a human being. Like, look how many of his kids go bad, and he was just an awful person, an awful, awful father. And, you know, if you wonder why Ashley and Hunter turned out like that, there's a reason.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, all of it's sad. But let me see. It's number 5. I think it's this one. Oh, I keep thinking I'm going to pick on the wrong one. Nope, that's not it.
Find it, Janet.
Sorry. I'm trying to find the right one. I think this one might be it. So let me see. Yeah, okay. This is the first one I wanted to share. It says the FBI just admitted in court that Hunter Biden's laptop is real. Here are 20 minutes of Joe Biden, U.S. intelligence officials, and the American media claiming that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. The FBI has possession of Hunter's laptop since December 2019. Okay, this is what, who knows what they took off of this that we're never going to see. So that's why I know they threw these two under the bus, because they never had to say anything. They could have just left it. Nobody was doing shit. Not a single Republican was doing shit that I ever saw to try to prove that the laptop was real. Do you remember them trying to get anybody to?
No, too many rhinos.
Yeah,
too many useless rhinos.
But I'm going to play this. I'm going to get this bigger.
Disinformation right now about Hunter Biden.
Let me pause it. Sorry, I'm going to turn it up so everybody can hear it. Make sure it's up loud enough. Okay, is everybody can see this good? Okay, so here we go.
Tonight, the Trump campaign is accusing Twitter and Facebook of censorship after the social media companies blocked the spread of an unverified story about former Vice President Joe Biden's son and a laptop allegedly full of his old emails. It's a story raising concerns about whether it's real or just designed to sow confusion in the final weeks of the election.
Experts say it has all the hallmarks of information laundering.
This looks like your classic disinformation campaign.
Eric O'Neill is a former FBI operative.
Steal the information with a cyber attack, get the emails from Hunter Biden's account, and then put them on these laptops that are left at a repair store. And that's how the information is now laundered into the public.
You think about it, though. How were they following every single thing you did? Okay, so if they were following everything you did, they would know that the laptop was in the place, right? So why was it Rudy Giuliani that came out and said, "Hey, I got Hunter's laptop"? You know, it wasn't the FBI that went there. Why would they go there and put shit on it when it's in a shop and they didn't even know about it? They didn't give a shit because they were with him, following him around while he was picking up hookers, smoking crack, doing all this shit, spending all this money that's in this 600 and something pages. So it's just bullshit. This is all bullshit. Sorry.
What do you think is behind this?
Well, the Russians would be my number one guess.
Social media outlets were quick to limit the spread of the story. Twitter briefly suspending the accounts of the Trump campaign and White House press secretary after they tried to share it.
Twitter and Facebook have limited the distribution of that Hunter Biden story. And last night, Twitter appeared to suspend the Twitter account of White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany when she tried to share that story.
Damn. You know a story is shady when Facebook is saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe people shouldn't see this.
For a long time, Giuliani has been openly working to dig up dirt and...
So you're recognizing any of these faces? of all these people that are saying how it's all fake, all these industries all lockstep with the Biden administration, doing exactly what they're told. It's almost like you could change the channel to channel to channel to channel. It would be the exact
Mockingbirds.
same. Yeah, the exact same information from one after the other. What does that remind you of? What countries have total control over the media? And only the
China,
ones that-
Venezuela, Russia. It's like
not
Eastern Europe.
an American free country doesn't have journalism like this. This proved to me that every one of them were bending over and taking it up the ass for this administration. I mean, why would they do that?
That's a perfect reference for the month of June, Janet. Just want to let you know.
Well, you know what I mean. It's just disgusting to me that these people got away with it. I think every single person that read these papers, or we find out that any of these people knew that they were lying when they were telling us this shit, should all be up on charges.
Janet, let's just put it this way: of all the people that were repeating the lie, we know that at least some of them knew that it was a lie, right? I mean, just to extrapolate, right, from what we have.
Yeah, I know they had to know. Just like I say right now, I'm going to go to the other thing about the shots and stuff, that nurses and doctors and stuff knew what they were doing. Oh, it looks like we lost him. He'll be right back. But the thing is, all of this stuff is bullshit. But now, for whatever reason, which is really bothering me, it's because why would all of a sudden, that they've had this all this time lying to everyone, if they won an election using these lies, okay? And now all of a sudden they just throw Hunter under the bus. And by throwing Hunter under the bus and handing the laptop over, what are they? They're handing Biden over because of all the emails and the text message and stuff about the big guy needs his share and all the different stuff that's coming out. It's going to be coming out. So what I think they did was they took out anything that had Obama or anyone else that's higher up on the food chain out, and they left everything with the Bidens and Joe Biden on it. And they're chucking him because they realize that there's not enough drugs that they can pump into this guy without him being a weekend at Bernie's, basically. So that's why I think they're ready to chuck him under the bus, and they're going to use some new procedure or whatever so that they can bring someone in at the convention as a new people running for president of the Democratic Party, which I think Gavin Newsom's is on the short list. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, I've been saying this since last year, that they were going to chuck him under the bus, and that they were little by little, but I thought it would be done by end of last year. I really thought
if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. I'm not a believer.
I still think they're going to do it. So we only got a couple months left.
He would have to die, and literally it would have to be Weekend at Biden's. By the way, I know this is the Thursday show, and you can talk about movies and stuff. Weekend at Bernie's, underrated. I mean, it's a gag that they probably shouldn't have extended to Weekend at Bernie's 2, but the first one was funny. And yeah, I mean, he would have to frigging die for them to bring in Governor Hairgel, who was formerly Mayor Hairgel of San Francisco.
You got someone who agrees with you. He says they're not going to replace him. I think there are. I really do. They're chucking him because they know
it's too late. It would have to
be.
It
isn't too late. It's never too late when it comes to a Democrat. They will hold on to the side of a cliff.
They're going to prop this guy up. Look how much of a Weekend at Bernie's show they've had.
He wasn't even there today at the memorial service for our guys from D-Day. He couldn't even stay there. He crapped himself, and they had to take him out and bring him back. And then he slept through the whole thing.
Did he think he was sitting down and then standing up, and then he was being rushed off to the stage? And French President Emmanuel Macron had to go shake hands of World War II vets.
He bent over like he was taking a shit. That's what it looked like. And
I
then
think there's a reason why pooping was trending on Twitter.
The whole time, Macron is the one that's having to greet our veterans.
That's what I just said. He actually, right when Joe was ushered off the stage, Macron kind of took a step and then kind of ran to shake the hands of a couple of the World War II veterans. And and Macron's a loser, but at least he had the decency to do that when Joe.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, it was
tried.
totally covering for
It
Joe.
looked like he made an effort because he really wanted to try to you know show that you know that he cared about what was going on. But I'm going to stop sharing that because that's basically all that is.
Janet,
So, yeah.
do you agree that they like they like that Joe is weak? They like that they're able to control him. They like
Yeah,
that they've been able to
but
get so much of the Green New Deal,
they have to have
far
someone
left
to
progressive stuff
blame
through him
all
because he
the
is weak.
crap on. They have to have someone to blame all the money they've spent on Ukraine, all the stuff with the jabs, everything. They're going to put everything on Biden, and he's too feeble and weak to go to court because they've already had somebody came out and said that. So the only thing they can do is just chuck him and put someone new and say, see, we're trying to save our country. We're trying to stop the border. We're trying to do all this stuff. And they're going to do it at the very last minute in a rush to try to. And now we got the avian flu thing coming out.
They had a feeble attempt to try to get Joe to be Mr. Tough on border now. You saw that, right? They're going to prop him up. They're going to make him pretend to care. They're going to do all these desperate things. And I think they know they're going to lose. Unless something really, really goes wrong, 2024. They were so desperate. They pulled out all the stops to try to win because, when someone's about to lose, their backs against the wall. They know they're all going to go to jail when Trump gets in. So they're going to try everything desperately to stay alive for their own self-preservation. But I don't think they're going to pull Joe. I mean, I'm almost willing to put money on it.
That's okay. No one believed me last year when I said they were going to chuck him. I still believe they are. And it's going to be before I said he will not be the one running against Trump, or even if Trump is there. Because, see, I think this whole thing is in lockstep with the rhinos because they're trying to make sure Trump is in jail, along with, who was it today that they are going to told me he had to be there July 1st?
Steve Bannon.
Yeah, Steve Bannon. They're both going to be in jail. Okay. Or, whatever. Both of them are going to be in jail. So neither one of them can be there at the convention or to campaign, or, it's, to me, this is the whole thing. The uniparty is basically throwing our country in the gutter. That's what I see. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I wish
I see that.
I'm wrong.
I see a lot
do.
of that, of a lot of uniparty, a lot of rhinos colluding with the Dems. Washington, D.C. is a swamp, right? So when we say swamp creature, we don't just say D or R in front of their name, Democrat or Republican. A lot of them just flat out swamp creatures. I don't even care what they put in front of their name. Just look at how they vote. Look at their actions. They're all compromised. But I still don't think they're going to pull Joe. I think he's the perfect puppet for them. And they need him weak and feeble. They need him embarrassed. They need people like
you don't think that
Jill
they got dirt on the other people, whoever it is?
They can get a lot more hooks into a puppet, even if they have to prop him up, pump him full of crack or whatever he's on.
That's what they're doing.
Remember when he wasn't blinking?
That Tucker interview when he was talking to Alex Jones, and they were both talking about their insiders telling them that they're keeping him so drugged up that he wanders around the White House at night naked. So I'm telling you, his little heart and his liver and everything is just not working. That's why he's shitting himself all the time. He can't even stand up and walk around for half an hour before he has to poop because he's so filled with drugs. He's not going to make it. I mean, I'm telling you, they're desperate to get rid of him.
He might go the way of Bernie Lomax, and then they're either got to prop him up or go with Governor Hairgel. But
I want to jump into this. This is the guy I was telling you about. His name's Dustin Stockton, and he has been doing certain things in front of the courthouse for the Hunter Biden whole laptop thing case. So I wanted to read this tweet from him. It says, he talks about it. He's in the breaking from the laptops. Real Tim Sharp is inside the courtroom. Prosecutors admit that they could have charged Hunter Biden with drug charges, but declined to focus on the gun charges. Prosecution is playing tapes of Hunter from his audio memoir, Beautiful Things, aka Crack. Haley Biden was given an immunity deal, probably explains the senile pedo's late night visits over the weekend, and will testify. Hunter bought a gun, a BB gun, and a survival tool on the purchase related to the charge. It is normal to buy a gun with the slide of a BB gun with a question mark. So basically, I wanted you to see this because this is opening up for this next thing I want to share. So hold on. Okay. No, I'm sorry, I'm so slow at this. But this one is, I think, pretty good. Okay, this is the laptop challenge, and it's with Dustin Stockton, and he's great. I think I'm going to try to, if you can look him up on X, you guys need to follow him. He's got a lot of good information, and he's really good at talking and sharing, and he's just a regular Joe. He's a real nice guy. So I think you guys need to check him out. But I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to make sure it's turned up. But I would like to play this for you guys because this is showing you a small taste of people, okay, believing the laptop was fake. Okay, so watch this. Watch how they handle it.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dustin from Laptop outside the Hunter Biden trial in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm coming armed with Marco Polo's report on the Biden laptop. Now, to help spread the word, we're going to play a little game with people today where they pick a number 1 through 636. They show them the menu. So, depending on which page they pick, they get $5 if the page depicts prostitution, $5 if it's smoking crack, $10 for sexual chats with family, $10 for the big guy, $10 for international shenanigans, and $10 for rehab. So, some of these pages, people might get 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 of these. There's certain pages inside this thing that may depict all of these different shenanigans. So we're going to be talking to people here on the street in Wilmington, Delaware, to see what they know about Hunter Biden's crack book. All right, Dustin here outside the Hunter Biden trial in Wilmington, Delaware. We're asking people, we're trying to show them what was in Marco Polo's report on the Hunter Biden laptop. There's 436 documented crimes laid out very specifically, like with the evidence from his laptop. To show people what's going on, we have a little game today. If you pick a number between 75 and 636, I'm going to open up the report. We'll see what's on the page. And then depending what's on the page, on the back of the sign, we have like a menu of prizes. Sound good? All right, so Chad, pick a number between 75 and 636. 310. Let's take a look at what we've got here.
You gotta remember,
all right. Oh,
this
this is
naked
definitely.
pictures
We've got some prostitution here.
of hookers.
See it here.
And
we've got Hunter Biden with a prostitute. We have them also smoking crack. Let's see. We got our first double winner of the day. 5:30 a.m. A drunken night in Vegas. According to the president's son, after he regained consciousness, there was this Russian 35-year-old, really nice, pure brunette who distracted him. Let's see. Oh, it looks like he got robbed by the hookers on this night. Really tough. I mean, smoking crack with hookers in Vegas. Who could have guessed that they would have taken all of Hunter's stuff? Vinny, let's go. Let's see. I think we have our first double winner. We have $5 for prostitution. Okay. We have $5 for smoking crack. And you know what? Because he called her a Russian, I'm going to include the $10 international shenanigans. Wow. This is a $20 winner. Congratulations, Chad. And remember, do not let the hookers steal your money when you're smoking crack with them in Las Vegas. Learn from Hunter Biden. Government, they've got different rules for us than they do like the ruling elites, right? Yeah. Like they don't expect like that they have to follow the rules they make for all the rest of us. Right. All right, so we're doing a challenge today. So this is a report that was done about all of the contents, the 436 documented crimes on Hunter Biden's laptop. So I'm gonna have you pick a number between 50 and 636. And depending on what's that page, on the back side of this, we have some like different prizes. So I'll have you pick a number. I'll turn to that page, and depending on what's on there, we've got a prize for it.
500.
500?
Yeah.
500 even. Oh, that's pretty deep. That's usually some pretty salacious stuff. Let's see what we got here. All right, we are
I
at
just love these guys.
page 500. Oh, skipped it. Oh, this is going to be a good one. All right, on page 500, show it to the camera here real quick. We've got send a follow-up. Oh, we've got international shenanigans, it looks like. All right, so this is an email. We're dealing with influence peddling. This is a good one. So on this one, we have several emails between Hunter Biden and some Rosemont Seneca and his international business collecting, it looks like, about $57,500 from foreign companies, just documented on this page. Anybody ever paid you $57,500 for sending a couple emails? It's good money if you can get
You
it.
had to
Right?
think about it.
All right, Vinny, let's look at let's see what we got.
Right here for international crimes.
International crimes, we got $10.
$10.
Let's freaking go. All right, Grant, appreciate you, man. Stay safe out here.
Here's
I
$10 bucks.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. I like everything. Like, too many people, they be afraid to like to speak out the truth and everything like that. And you just gotta speak the truth.
All right, what's up? This is Dustin. I'm here with Andrew. Good to see you, Andrew. All right, so today we're showing people what's in the Marco Polo report on Hunter Biden's laptop. This is a very detailed breakdown of the 436 crimes that were documented on Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, he's on trial right now for 3 of those crimes related to gun charges, but there was a lot more. Have you ever had to deal with like the court system?
I have not.
All right, well, good for you. I have. And typically prosecutors charge you with as much as they can and then try to like get you to do a plea deal. In this case, they've just narrowed it down to 3 charges. So we want to show people like what else he could have been charged with. And I think people will be surprised. Now, we set up a little game here. So I just need you to pick a number between, we'll say like 50 and 636. Because the first ones are like some of the introduction stuff. So pick a number between 50 and 636. And then depending on what's depicted on that page, we have some prizes laid out for you.
Okay. I'm going to go with 432.
432. I have a feeling that's going to be a good one. Like that, I feel like you're going to get several of the prizes laid out here. Here, do you want to hold the microphone for me? All right, let's take a look here. Page 432. Oh, what do we have here? We have drug dealing. We got drug dealing. So this page is from a South American-born male named Adelson Leite, was one of Hunter Biden's key drug dealers near Boston. Leite utilized a Tile Installation LLC as a front company to receive the drug payments. So this has a bunch of text messages of Hunter Biden acquiring crack cocaine. Let's see what else that we've got in here. Let's see. Lining up crack.
Very important when you're purchasing guns.
Yep. Lining up crack again. This is from December 2018. Vinny, crack cocaine on the prizes. All right. So no prostitution. We did get $5 for smoking crack. No sexual chats with his family. No 10% to the big guy. Man. International shenanigans.
Almost.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, Boston is kind of another country. I mean, Massachusetts does kind of suck, right? But it does not appear that he was in rehab at the time of purchasing this crack. So, Andrew, we appreciate you playing the challenge. We've got $5 for you.
Awesome.
And I couldn't recommend enough, which is we deal with a 2-tier justice system. if you or I had done anything like the prostitution, the taking international bribes, the wire fraud, more than 436 felonies are like detailed in this. They only charged him with like 3 crimes of like getting paperwork wrong in relation to buying a gun. If me and you had done this, they would have charged us with everything and they would have locked us up and thrown away the key. And that's a terrible thing to have a 2-tier justice system.
Yeah,
so
it's a big book to be.
yeah,
you know.
so it's pretty gnarly. It's I'm getting my workout today, but I really appreciate you coming out, and God bless America, man.
All right, God bless America.
Okay, I'm going to pause it for a minute. But what did you think about what you just saw? I wanted to ask everybody, anybody in the chat, did you get to watch these videos on his website or on his X? And did you get to, what do you think about it so far?
We wanted to play the game.
I know, but I'm going to finish playing it. But what do you think? Wasn't that a great idea for these 2 guys to take this book that has 400 and something felonies in it? Okay, we just had our Trump just got convicted of 34 paperwork crimes or whatever, basically lying and some other stuff, but 34, and he was convicted on all of them. How many of the 3 out of 400 and something do you think that Hunter's going to even get convicted of? I'd like to know, everyone in the chat. Do you think he'll get convicted of 1 out of the 3 out of the 400 and something that's in that report from the laptop? So this is just ridiculous. And how, and it doesn't, you don't hear nothing about it. Nobody's talking about shit. But if it was you, I guarantee you would be in jail until you went to court, because that's a lot of felonies right there. That's a lot. It's just disgusting. This whole thing just makes me disgusted. I'm so tired of these people getting away with basically murder. You know, it's do what I say, not as I do. And basically that means the Constitution means squat to them about us, but they think it should all matter for them. As long as you got a D next to your name, you can pretty much do and say whatever you want to anyone with a C next to their name. So I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. And it makes me want to barf, but I'm proud of these 2 guys for taking their time out to make this video, and whoever's filming them, this whole group of guys, they're awesome. And these are what we need. We need more people, real citizen journalists like these gentlemen. That's what we need. We got to get rid of all the other shitheads that are on the news, taking their bending over for whoever and telling us bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So.
And Hunter Biden's being charged on 3 gun charges for like not filling out paperwork, right?
Illegal possession of a firearm. Shit, most people go to jail for that right away, don't they?
Right. Well, and I've had some dealings with the justice system myself.
Me too, unfortunately.
And my experience has been that the prosecutors charge you with as much as they can.
Well, then they get to try to plea bargain, right?
Right. So they try to leverage it down. Do you think it's normal that he's only being charged with these 3 charges?
What about the laptop thing? What's on that?
Well, so that's actually what we're doing here today, Ed. That's a perfect segue. So this is the report on Hunter Biden's laptop by Marco Polo. It's quite the read.
I've worked in the Warren Commission. I did a ballistic study on that, so I could read that easy.
This documents 436 documented felonies, ranging from all kinds of different crimes. And we're actually doing a little game with this today to like bring awareness to it. So if you pick a number, and I'm gonna say between 100 and 636, I'm going to open that page. And on the back of this sign, we have some prizes laid out, depending on which crimes of Hunter Biden's you land on.
Oh, crime, he loses, we win?
Yeah, no, basically no matter what you win.
All right,
the goal is how many of the crimes you get in one shot.
248.
248 is the guess. Oh, I almost
Oh, look
opened
at
right
that.
to it.
Oh,
Let's
my
see what
goodness.
we've got
Look at
here.
that. Wait, whoa. Holy Moses.
All right. This is we are on page.
But remember, it's got a
we
lot of
landed
nudity in there.
on 248. We are in sex-related crimes.
Man,
There are lots of these. So this is from May 7th, 2018. 4 minutes later at 4:22 a.m., Hunter, again utilizing his quote-unquote Rob alias, unsuccessfully solicited a female to his hotel. Later that morning at 7 a.m., the female's pimp, who identified herself as Patricia's assistant and a retired provider, responded to Hunter with pricing details, explaining that Patricia hosts from Glendale and her rate is $500, or the female could come to you for a slightly higher rate to cover travel. The pimp also included a photo of the female in her response to Hunter. Man, she's pretty good looking, huh?
Yeah, but that's terrible. I mean, what do you do? Need to have his Cash App or something?
So $500. So let's see what we got here. So it looks like we have prostitution.
That's $5.
Yeah, and I think that's the only one we got from the list. Unfortunately, we didn't get him smoking crack. We got no sexual fat chats with family. The big guy is not there. Unfortunately, the hooker was not foreign, or he wasn't overseas, and it wasn't from rehab, all of which are documented throughout this thing.
I have to get a
I
copy
mean,
of this.
what's unbelievable about this? No, that's a card from it's like one of my bookmarkers. But you can see this is laid out of unbelievable crimes,
That's
foreign
still like detailed
bribery,
evidence.
and it's all there. And the thing about the trial today is that they actually entered the laptop into evidence. And it's the first time that Hunter Biden and the Bidens have admitted that the laptop was real.
Well, can I reiterate on something?
Yeah.
A friend of mine was recently arrested for trumped up charges, and the police took his cell phone and are going through it. Now, what happened? They got a search warrant, right? So that's the right to do that with anybody, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, then God bless America.
So if we had a 600-page book, me and you, I'm talking here, there was a 600-page book documenting all of our different crimes. Do you think we'd be on charges for 3 charges and be walking around free?
I think they ought to throw the book at him.
100%. Ed, nice to meet you, sir. Have a great day.
Thanks. I might give it to the homeless. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
It's your money.
Thanks, guys. Hey,
Cheers.
you guys are the best, man. High five.
Dustin here, still outside the Hunter Biden trial in Wilmington, Delaware. We're still doing the laptop challenge. Now, sir, I couldn't help but notice you already have the report.
Yeah, I saw your guys' video on X, and so when I came out of the courthouse about 30 minutes ago, I went to my car and got it because I've got 24 copies in my trunk there, and it just came up in the trial, literally in the last intervening hour. Derek Hines, who I don't even like, I don't think he's doing a particularly great job. The prosecution just gave the FBI agent the physical laptop. It's the first time. Remember, Hunter said it didn't exist. I personally, tongue-in-cheek, said it was at the bottom of the Christina River because it has been in that FBI resident agency evidence locker for, let's see the exact number, 4.5 years.
Well, so I was being a little cute, but this is Garrett Ziegler, the Marco Polo report.
Yeah, principal author, but a team of people behind me.
Yeah, no, and you guys have done such courageous work. I want to first give my love to whoever had to do the editing of Hunter Biden's photos.
Mhm.
I hope that they got vacation time and some
Eli.
relaxation.
Eli.
Shout out to you, Eli.
And Eli is still working
Your
on the
sacrifice does not go unnoticed, sir.
videos. For the videos, we have to have AI to track the genitalia.
Now we've been going around, and
What are people's reactions?
so we've been playing a game with people, which is pick a number between 1 and 636, and we open up.
Hunter would pick 69.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. My guess was 69 and 420.
Oh, my
And so
God.
we've just been opening up to the
pathetic.
random pages and showing people the crimes, and then based on which crimes they pick on the back of the sign, Van, go ahead, turn it. Right, they win a cash prize depending on which one they land on.
Marco Polo is the name of the group that I lead. That's the reason it exists. Is we exist to expose blackmail. It's a very unique mission because hardly anybody wants to do that. It is a dirty you have to put on boots, figurative boots, every single day because of the muck. And it makes you enemies. For example, today, talk about impulse control.
Yeah, this was
Hunter's wife has about the same impulse control as he has, because I was sitting in the courthouse with my hands in my lap, listening to the trial. They take a short break. We go out to the water fountain area, so outside of the courtroom, and she comes up to me and says, quote, "You have no right to be here, you POS Nazi." So a couple of things. Number one, and this is for the record, and I mentioned this to you earlier, Melissa Cohen is from a remote village in South Africa. And assuming she hasn't become a citizen yet, she may not know that in this country, federal taxpayers and normal people can go to criminal proceedings. Now, in their warped view, nobody F's with a Biden. So in their Soviet-style view, if they don't like you, that is the due process one gets to where you cannot see little Hunter in court, Garrett, because we don't like you. That is second-grade justice. That's stuff you hear what 7-year-olds say.
the work that Marco Polo, BidenReport.com, BidenReport.com. Go buy one, support the cause, continue the good work, Garrett, and appreciate you, man.
I'm going to order one. I'm going to order myself that book because I'm going to read it. And maybe one day I'll go to the prison and I'll get Hunter to autograph it for me. I mean, I don't know, but that is ridiculous. But wasn't that awesome idea for them to do that? To promote this whole farce that it's real, and now it's in court. So now it's proven. It's evidence. So anything in it now, and all that stuff you just saw in that book that they made just from going through every single message, every picture, just like you said, they had to have AI generated just to blur out all the genitalia because there was so much. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And this guy has only been charged with 3 crimes. Do you know, you were saying something earlier when we were talking earlier, Rooftop, that there was another trial coming up. Do you know anything about when that's supposed to be happening?
Yeah, the September trial about the tax thing. I think a lot of people want something to happen to this trial. I mean, I think we have to look at reasonably what can be gained, right? Or what positives can you see coming out of the trial? On this one, laptops going into evidence. We're going to get the establishment of Hunter Biden. This thing exists. It's the 51 intelligence or former or current intelligence officers that signed off on that thing. Maybe you can get some accountability, but at least we have it into evidence. For the second, the other trial, I think because it's going to be close to the election, and because it's dealing with taxes and payments and accounting, I think there will be ammunition there if they play their cards right to tie the whole corruption back to Crooked Joe. The big guy gets his 10%, right? So that trial, especially with the finances, I think is going to be more relevant to that. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be watching to see what evidence is introduced and if they can actually put something. I mean, it's going to be embarrassing for Joe, but he doesn't get embarrassed. So what damage can actually be done?
What's sad about it is that Joe doesn't even know who he is most of the time. I don't think he wanders around. He shuffles when he walks. He's pooping his pants all the time. But see, I think pooping the pants is a lot to do with a side effect of all the drugs. I mean, didn't he do
that at the Vatican, Janet? So, I mean, the Normandy thing is not
what
even
I mean,
like
though, is if you notice when he was doing the debates with Trump, because I've been going back and looking at different videos, you can see marks on his hands and stuff from all the IVs. They're keeping him hydrated, pumping him full of drugs, just so he can stand there like a zombie, just so he's standing there.
Kind of elder abuse,
and now,
in a way.
It is. But the thing is, even when they got him that drugged up, okay, and they got an earpiece in and a thing in front of him so he could read it, he's still saying gibberish, like him saying that somebody was eaten by cannibals and this person and that person. And then he wanders off the stage and goes and starts playing with babies in the audience. I'm telling you, they can't control him anymore, even though he's so freaking drugged up.
Janet.
He is wandering around like
Yeah,
I don't
before
know.
all that, when he was a younger man, he was still just telling stories. He's making crap up. Remember the plagiarism, right?
Yeah.
That haunted him for previous campaigns. He
Mhm.
has put himself at the center of every single American story about any king thing. I mean, he just puts himself in, every single part of history. The Amtrak thing, he was in this state, that state. He was a coal mine, and then the cannibals, and the guy is he's the editor of the Bullshit Weekly, and he doesn't know when to quit. And now that the drugs are just sustaining that, I don't think when the guy has no moral core, and I do think Biden is going down the path of evil, and maybe he doesn't even realize it now, but
He doesn't.
he already chose
He
the
might
path
have
of deception.
seconds. He might have like 1 or 2 minutes, a few minutes a day, maybe an hour of clarity. Okay. Because dementia happens to all of us. Okay. I hate to say it. That's why over time, it seems like we can't remember where our car keys are at. Where did I park my car? And you have all this shit happening to you, little bits of this and that. Now, the more active you keep your mind by staying active and doing things, your mind will take longer to degrade. But as soon as you get older, when you sit and watch TV and just sit and I don't know, play with your phone or whatever, you slowly, your body, your muscles start to give out. I mean, you just have a lot of stuff. That's why you can't be sedentary. A sedentary lifestyle slowly leads to you're in a wheelchair, you have a walker, next thing you know, you're pushing up daisies. I mean, that's just what happens. So that's why it's important to stay active constantly, because you're never too old to learn anything, right? And I don't know.
I don't think if Biden can learn not to lie at this point. He's done it for so long.
No,
Even when he was a
know
younger
that.
man.
Yeah, he's
his law school
piece of shit.
things. Yes.
You're not going to get me to root for him. I mean, I think he's disgusting. He's a disgusting pig.
between Creepy Joe
Oh.
and his dishonesty, a lifetime of dishonesty, not just in old age. Okay, so I understand people are more forgetful, dementia, senility, Alzheimer's.
But that's why
that.
they'll never have to take him to court or anything. See, what they're going to do is they're going to take everything bad that happened, even though it had nothing to do with him. I don't even think he planned for all this shit. I think the shots, a lot of the money going to Ukraine, I mean, all this underhanded shit that's been going on has been by other people, and they just put it under not Biden, but basically that's what it is. And they handed him papers and said sign, and he just signed shit because he didn't know what the hell he's signing, because half the time he doesn't even know who he is, and if they didn't give him a shot, he'd probably be asleep. So they needed him away.
He's being led around like a dog. And
yeah, because he's a lapdog for whoever is really in charge. But the thing is, it's getting to where they can't use him anymore because he's not doing what they need him to do.
And they can't use the vice president either because
he can't do debates. There's no way.
I don't even want to hear
There's no way this guy is going to be on a stage or at a table or anything debating anyone. There's just no way. He can't even go up there and shake hands with veterans without crapping himself. I'm just saying his usefulness is done. I mean, I just don't see how they could keep him. But I'm going to share this next thing. I think is a really good thing too. It's from another person that I've been following for quite a while on X. And I want to show you what's on his post. And I'm going to, let me see if I can make it bigger. No, it won't make it bigger, but I can make this bigger. Okay. Now this is, fart. Let me make it small again. I got to read what it says. It says Biden lying his ass off to the American people during the 2020 debate, calling the Hunter Biden laptop Russian plant. Okay. This is why I brought this up, but this is good. I want you guys to see it. Let me make sure it's turned up. Okay. Here we go.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage.
This is classic Trump. We have 4 days left, and all of a sudden there's a laptop. There's overwhelming evidence that from the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged.
I still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation at a smear campaign, like you said.
Yes. It's a last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family. The vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
Lies, all lies. He's been lying since before he was even president. And he's president. And our children and our great grandkids are going to be in debt when they're born, because this administration has spent us trillions and trillions of dollars in debt.
Even if we got things right with the next two administrations and Biden gets kicked out, Trump goes in, the amount of damage he did in these last, I don't know how many years, it'll take multiple administrations to fix even if we can get all that right, down the line.
That's it.
But yeah,
stop it right
Kamala
now.
Harris,
Only
I wanted to say one
stop
thing.
it now.
Heels
Period.
Up Harris is Miss Word Salad. Could you imagine her? Miss Significance of the Passage of Time. Is that time passes significant? She's awful, and we don't want her either.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna. Either one of them aren't gonna be there. She's gonna just say she just can't deal with the humiliation or whatever, because throw it on Biden. Why not? Because he is a piece of shit. Anyways, but the thing is, we're all suffering, all of us, and except whoever ran this whole shenanigans, they're getting away scot-free because everyone's too chicken shit, to tell anyone what's going on. We all want the facts. We would like to take all the people that involved in all this lying and treason and stealing an election, lies, putting people in jail. We got people that still, January 6th, still in jail, and not one person has been convicted of what they're all in there for. There wasn't no insurrection. No one has been convicted of it, but that's all they say. And it's like, when are we going to say, fuck, you guys are full of shit. I'm not paying you any more money. I'm not putting up with your shit anymore. Fuck all of you. We want all of you guys to go to jail. So we want our sheriffs and stuff start arresting all these people, and us, the people, put them on trial. I mean, don't we have the right to do that? I mean, can we? I mean, I have no idea. You know what I mean? It's really weird. Really, really weird. But I would like to see these people punished. I really would. So I guess we'll go on to the next thing. Okay. Hold on. Present, share screen. Is it this one? I think. Yeah, let's do this one. All right, you ready? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure. All right, get it started. Make sure it's turned up. Here we go.
After the social media companies blocked the spread of an unverified story about former Vice President Joe Biden's son and the laptop.
Did I already play this one at the beginning? Did I click on the wrong thing? I think I did. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's why I try to close them.
What are you trying to pull up now?
I was trying to pull up the hold on, which one is it?
Miss Maryland?
No, that one. I can pull that one up though. Hold on, let me get that one. I'll let you talk about it. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Riley Gaines. This article right here.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that if that was okay with you, Janet.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me get it bigger. Okay. Oh, do you want to read the headline first? Any woman who supports a man, regardless of how feminine he makes himself look, taking another woman's rightful recognition is a traitor to her own sex. And this is Riley Gaines who said that. This is from her timeline.
Ugh.
See, if they lift the skirt and they see a penis, does that disqualify this person?
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? They don't. They have a penis.
Yeah,
it's tucked.
We wanted to sound the alarm on the sporting level, right? And I figured if all the girls refused to compete with William Thomas, who became Leah Thomas, and who Riley Gaines had to give up a trophy to because it's a man pretending to be a girl, not even a true transsexual. It's bullying. It's awful. It's wrong. And I think that things have gone so upside down. They're going to have to upside down the upside down for the ship to be righted. Like, for example, there's going to have to be a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman, so that we can actually have a woman be Miss Maryland again or Miss California or whatever. I just think that things are so bad. It's got to flip another time because it's just it's crazy. The clown world is so it's insane, and it's robbing women of opportunities. I mean, I don't watch women swimming or things, but I think the women should be the most upset about this. You don't hear anything from any of the feminists because they're just mostly leftist ideologues who are set on destroying the nuclear family. But that's I'm glad Riley brought that up. She's a pretty good speaker too, if you ever get to hear her speak.
Yeah, I really respect her for everything that she's gone through just to support women. We went through this whole thing called feminism or whatever. Women run around with pussy hats on. You know, we had to go through all that shit. And none of those women with the pussy hats are standing up for women. They're standing up for a man who's got fake boobs and a dick.
Let's just say what it is, Janet. It's a man pretending to be a woman, right?
Yeah.
And when you have sporting federations go along with this, like the NCAA, when you have corporations going along with this, like Planet Fitness,
Planet
it's sick, and they need to be punished. There needs to be a reckoning. I'm sorry, I don't know how you do them with a business. You have to punish them by denying them their profit and withholding your money.
Don't shop with them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only way. Because they have the right to do whatever they want if it's their corporation. Now, just like I said, during the whole COVID thing, if I went up and they said I couldn't go in to their establishment because I wasn't wearing a mask, then I would go someplace else. And I went to other places. I even went to the movie theater and I didn't wear a mask because guess what? I was like the 3 people in the whole theater. I was surprised that our theater didn't go out of business.
Janet, just imagine you're running a track and field event in high school. And then this man that's like, faster, stronger, went through male puberty and goes and smokes all the women. How would you feel? If you were training and putting in the time to compete, it just should be so unfair. The parents.
The difference is, as a mother, okay, I have 2 daughters myself. I wouldn't let my daughter compete. If I found out that there was a guy on the team, I would say, well, my daughter's not going to compete then. She's not competing against other girls and she doesn't get to compete. I'll find something else to put them into. That's what I would have done. And guess what? If every parent that had a real daughter that they gave birth to and was born that way took their daughter out, who is that person going to compete with? The reason they're competing against women is because they couldn't compete against men. If they really think that they are off gender or whatever that word is for it, they have gender dysphoria. If they really have that, then they'd be willing to compete against other people that are transsexuals.
And you notice it doesn't go the other way around, right? You don't have these these biological women pretending to be guys trying to go out for the men's team. It only works in one direction, and these guys are just, I think, losers trying to bully the girls and trying to make something. I mean, a swimmer ranked in the 400s, William Thomas. When I heard Riley Gaines speak, she was talking about how you can look at any other girl's swimming history, and there's their swimming history from when they were little to when they're growing up, and this person just appears out of nowhere. Senior, UPenn becomes #1. It's so weird, and the NCAA knows there's something wrong because they changed their locker room to unisex. So by doing that, they're admitting that they know something's not right, and that's horrible because any dude could have just walked into the college women's swimming when she was swimming for Kentucky. So it's awful, and they're trying to get society to coddle their depravity and their delusions and their fantasy world.
Mhm.
And we want to live in something based on truth, biological reality, economic reality. And when you have the inmates in charge of the asylum, no wonder they don't understand economics, biology, basic normality. They just want everything upside down. It's awful. So I'm hoping that
Well, I
we
wanted
can
to
return
share.
some normality to our world.
I want to share this information. I'm going to put the link. I'm just going to bring it up and nobody see it, but I'm going to put the link in the chat for everybody to look at themselves. It's basically a breakdown of the jurors and everything that happened each day, except for the one day that 5 jurors didn't show up or whatever. That one morning, I think it was the 3rd day. And I was like, well, then how are they looking at testimony then if 4 people didn't show up? Because I know they took one of the alternates was put in to replace someone that couldn't come, or something happened. They couldn't show up to every day or something. So they had to replace it with an alternate. But when you only have 4 alternate and 4 people are taken off the jury. So I don't know. It's just ridiculous how this whole trial is going on compared to what happened with Trump's trial. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to realize that this is reality, that we're really living in the real world. It just doesn't seem real. I'm really surprised. But here is the website, basically. I don't know what this is. I guess it's an ad or something on there. It says Hunter Biden trial highlights. Jury seated after selection removes some of the deep political gun views. Okay, so this whole thing it took me about, I guess 20 minutes to go through the whole thing because there was so much I had to read over again because it was like, it doesn't make any sense because it's like, what the fuck? I mean, that's how I was when I was reading it. But it's pretty interesting if you want to go through the whole thing. So I'm going to copy the information at the top here, and I'm going to share it with everyone in the chat because it's just this whole thing is just, I'm shocked. I barely get to where I'm speechless, but some of this stuff happening is like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like it's a TV series or sci-fi fiction or something. That it's not real because it just doesn't make any sense that anybody believes this shit. What is common sense now is a superpower. If you have common sense and you can tell that's bullshit over there, then you're a superhero, because that's where I'm at right now on this planet, is that we were in deep shit. And if we don't get stuff straightened out, none of us are going to have anything, because how can you go through all of this stuff, seeing all this corruption with courts and stuff, and let's say someone's driving down the road and they see your property. Okay, maybe you own 20 acres or something, and they go, oh, I love this property. I would love to live here. Look at the beautiful view. And they find out that you live there. So they ask, will you sell it? Will you sell your 20 acres? And you say, no, this was my great-great-grandfather's property. Well, I'm keeping it. And so they go and they happen to know somebody that's in politics, and they figure out, oh, well, so they send somebody to drive down your driveway and put some child porn on your computer. Then they show up at your house the next day and say, we're going to arrest you for child porn. So, you might as well sell this property. See what I mean? They can do whatever they want. They're doing it now. It's just that you and I are little plebes they don't care about. So we don't affect them yet. But as soon as we're in their way, or we making too much noise or whatever, they just take us out too with lawfare, like they're doing everybody else. It's disgusting, except now why they're even doing this. That's what I said. So I can't wait to find out what the reason behind putting the laptop out and letting it become evidence in this case. I don't know. Until that happens, until I find out about that, I'm just going to be in limbo, waiting to find out what the plan was with this whole thing, with the fiasco with the Bidens. I know they picked them on purpose because they knew they could totally control every aspect of everything, and they have been. But now the guy is not controllable. He just wanders around. He's feeble. He's falling down. He's shitting his pants. He can't say what they tell him to say. He's useless. Now, if it was all from a camera like what we're doing right now, and I could be a clone or a person with a rubber suit on or something like that, then maybe they could get away with some of the stuff. But with Biden going in public, it just every single time he goes to public, it's getting worse and worse and worse. That's why they never want him to go anywhere, because he's trouble. But I'm going to open up your fast food stuff for California now. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to click on the link.
Oh yeah, the Post article.
Yeah. So hold on. I got to go back, and I think I got to go back and share the other link. So hold on. Now that I opened it. So give me 1 second. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. All right, here it is.
News from California, formerly California.
Yeah. Right
so
this.
Oh yeah, they were so excited. They got in all the news reports. The Governor Hairgel, Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Remember, okay, a good friend of a very powerful family that has totally gone woke. They made their money in capitalism and oil images. The Getty family. They're one of the major backers of Gavin Newsom. So if you just think the Soroses are involved. They were he's such an ideologue, and he was talking about, we're going to give $20 an hour for these fast food or these restaurant workers. And it's a mitigated disaster. 10,000 jobs is no small feat to get rid of, and the businesses just can't afford it. They increase the costs of doing business. As you can imagine, places have shut down. There are chains that are going to go.
Red Lobster aren't they going bankrupt?
That's even a national thing. Places have barely survived the lockdowns, the pandemic lockdowns. And California, as you know, had much longer lockdowns, much more arbitrary lockdowns, like one county over across the street might be open. The other place had to be locked down. It was awful. It was awful. The governor was just kind of playing roulette and just doing whatever he's doing and saying, oh yeah, this zone is called purple, and then they're going to have the most severe restrictions, and this is not. Yeah. And so he kind of played Russian roulette with people's lives and livelihoods. And now, after all that is done, the $20 minimum wage is going to be the death knell in a lot of places. And he made an exception for his buddy, who another one of his backers that owns Panera Bread, if you guys know about that chain.
I've heard of it.
He tried to put in a loophole. So if you're going to bake bread, if you bake fresh bread, then you're exempt from the $20 minimum wage. He obviously exempted at his own places of business that he owns, the Plump Jack Group, which used to do a winery and other things. So the guy is corrupt. It's awful. And he thought that this would give him some political capital. But I think the backlash and the predictable, anybody that understands economic reality knew that these were the predictable results. It's just a disaster. Businesses can't operate, and they're going to cut hours, cut staff, and
they're doing that now. If you notice at Walmart,
10,000 jobs. That's a lot.
And at Lowe's, I've made a couple videos. That's some of my most watched videos are the ones I've made at Lowe's. And up above the doors, the exit doors, there's signs that say, "We love our employees," or "We love our cashiers," and stuff like that. And you look, and there's no cashiers. They're all self-checkouts.
They're going to move everything to kiosks because they're going to figure. I think McDonald's, they're going to look ahead of the game. They're going to think, if they can do it in California, right? All these ex-Californians that moved to Colorado, they're going to do it in Colorado, Washington. And so they're going to get ahead of the curve and just remove the people ahead of time. And just, you're going to have kiosks. They're going to have fixed costs and just make sure that they don't have any of these possible variable costs that can happen with political decisions, especially leftist political decisions.
Cut everything down, right? If you have all kiosks and you only have like 3 people in the kitchen, okay, and you're paying them $20 an hour. Well, now you don't have anybody to talk to, so all they do is put the food down a chute or whatever, and you get it, and you after you've paid for it and everything else. So there, to make money, okay, a business has to make a profit or they don't stay in business. Okay,
That's correct.
right? So if somebody says, well, golly, I got to pay $50 for 2 Happy Meals, you know, they're like $25 a piece. So now you got 2 kids and yourself, and you go, well, I'm sorry, I can't take you to McDonald's anymore. It's too expensive. The kids don't understand. And what's really bad is, even though you're paying 3 times or 4 times more for the food, you're getting lesser and lesser amount. It's probably not even real anymore. It's probably not even real beef. It's probably just mealy worms and crickets and whatever.
Right.
All
No,
up, with fake meat or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Sawdust and soy proteins, right? I remember
something
there was
like that.
There was a story
It's
maybe 15
disgusting.
years ago out of Canada that was saying that their Subway, they tested the DNA of their chicken for their for Subway sandwiches at a couple locations in Canada, and they're finding that it was only 46% chicken. And I was like, what's the rest, right? And so it's all this cheap filler that they can do with soy and synthetics and all that stuff. It's awful, but this is when they look at the short-term optics and they try to get a win, they try to say they're standing up for the workers. You're seeing this with the food delivery too. I think up in the Pacific Northwest.
Here you go. Look at Snorter Poop's head.
Yeah, I think so many places
to unload the delivery trucks. I think it's that's exactly.
There's so many places that are charging so much because they want the delivery drivers to get paid, right? So the food delivery places like the Uber for food, that they're making it so expensive that people are stopping ordering and just going to pick up at the place or not doing it. So whenever they do these short-sighted attempts to appeal, like, oh, we're helping the worker, it's not translating into real benefit for anybody. And those people that initially get the bump will not get as much work. Go ahead.
You got people that have Uber Eats on their phone, right? So they get on there, they order a $50-something Happy Meal mixture, and then they pay $20 for it to be driven to their house. It's like $70-something for a burger and fries and shit.
Well, but the politicians will do this too. Instead of just the $20 minimum wage, Janet, they're going to say that DoorDash or Uber Eats drivers need to make a certain amount, right? And so they're going to use their own little
have health insurance.
They're going to do their own local little laws, and that's going to make food delivery cost prohibitive, and then people are going to stop doing that. So it doesn't end with just a $20 minimum wage.
And you got the governments coming in saying, well, you can't collect rainwater, and you can't grow your own chickens, you can't have eggs, you can't grow your vegetables. They're trying to control every aspect of anything, especially if you want to feed yourself and you want to eat healthy food. Like I get these little trays, and you sprinkle your bean sprouts in there, right? They're little seeds, and then you fill it with water, and then you put the lid on it so it's dark. And after a couple of days, you lift the lid, and those sprouts are coming out. You turn the lid upside down, and then you rinse them real good, and then you put them back in there and let them grow for a few more days. And there you go. You got yourself a whole thing of bean sprouts of all different kinds of yummy tastes of radishes or whatever it is that you pick. And I put them on my sandwiches. I make salads and stuff with them, and it's easy to grow, and you can grow it in a small little area. I do it on my stairwell that goes down to my basement, and there's a big window there, and I just set 2 or 3 of them there, and I have fresh sprouts whenever I want them. But the thing is, they don't want you to do that. It won't be long, and they're going to charge you like $1,000 for the little plastic dishes to make it. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just.
They can regulate you out of having your own freedom to do what you want, to save money and get better products. Yes.
To put in my body what I want to eat. I don't tell that person what, don't eat those, triple cheeseburgers with all the greasy stuff on your fries or whatever, if you want, or ketchup or mayonnaise or whatever it is you want to put on all your stuff. Go for it. If you can afford it and you can want to eat it, go for it. I know what I want to eat, and it's not that. I want to be able to choose and know what I'm eating. See, like my chickens, people were asking me last year, they were saying, did you go for months without any eggs? Did your chickens lay? And I said, my chickens never stop laying. because I knew what I was feeding them. I fed them leftovers. They had grass. I grow my own mealworms. I do all this different stuff myself, and my chickens love me. I got videos of them, me going, come on, let's go. And they'll come running. They'll come running right to me and let me feed them and stuff, because they know I'm not going to hurt them, and I raise them from chicks. But the thing is, my eggs are all natural, like they should be. They're not filled with who knows what, because they're feeding them all this bullshit. They didn't even lay. There wasn't enough protein in whatever it is they were eating or putting in the food that these people were feeding, that all those people went months without any eggs.
So when you don't have a dog eating your chickens actually produce. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I just hope no one dumps up another one 6 months after Christmas. That's usually when the big drops are. As people, and I guarantee
they get them for Christmas presents. They don't want the responsibility,
it's a Christmas puppy. Because there was like 3 people besides me.
We're talking about people abandoning dogs, and then Janet having to deal with it. Yeah,
somebody dropped a beautiful white shepherd in my yard, and I didn't know because I wasn't there. I was at my father's because he's at my other sister's, and I was going there, and we're going through totes of mail and things like that, because my dad was a really, hoarder big time. So one of my sisters and I would drive down there and do this, and we stay overnight, and we do that. We don't come back till late the next day. Well, I come back, and my whole front porch, my shoes are chewed up. There's gnaw marks all over my arms of my furniture on there, some of my pillows, and all that's all chewed up. It's all over my porch. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? There's feathers everywhere. See, I didn't know what that was. And I started running around looking for my chickens. And that's when I found the dog. It's a really like a 6-month-old little shepherd. And she was jumping up in midair, grabbing cardinals out of the air. I mean,
sorry to bring that up. Long story short, you're now able to get your farm fresh eggs without
because I finally found a home for that dog. But I spent $1,500 getting her fixed, getting her all her shots. I bought a dog house. I did all this stuff, and I kept asking people, do you want a dog? Do you want a dog? But as soon as I told them, when she kills chickens, they went, no, I can't have her. So everybody's like, why did you spend 22 cents and get rid of her? But I didn't. I found her a home. So, but I wish people wouldn't. Don't get a puppy or a kitten or any pet for your kid for Christmas if you don't really want a pet. If you don't want the responsibility, don't take it to the next street.
And don't give somebody else a responsibility that they didn't ask for necessarily.
Don't dump your animals on other people. It's terrible. And I would never do that. So
all right.
But
I don't have too much more on the $20 minimum wage, but yeah, horrible policies, and then economic disaster. That's what kind of happens. You got anything else on this, Janet, or did you want to talk to someone else?
You said that an hour and a half was good, so we're like at 1 hour and 28 minutes, so we did pretty good.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Got through some good topics. We had a big one earlier, so
we had some really good stuff. But the thing is, everything we talked about was real stuff and was real people. And what I wanted to add to your whole thing about this whole thing with the kiosks and stuff is that Walmart, if you go to their website and look for jobs, go to different ones in different states and different cities, and there's so many jobs on there Walmart's looking for. And guess what they're for? Lawyers. Tons of them. They're trying to hire lawyers for their different stores and stuff like that. It's pathetic. But guess what? They're trying to get rid of their full-time employees because it's cheaper if you have an employee that only works 30 hours a week, and that means you don't have to pay them any insurance. You don't have to pay for their dental or their eye care.
It's scary. The first time I saw a robot, I think I was meeting my parents, and was at a diner, maybe a Denny's or something. There was a robot bringing out the food, right? I was like like a rolling tray thing. And I said, "Oh, this is weird." But I remember that what that robot represents was, this was someone's job once upon a time that used to come and say hi and fill our coffee and say hi, and she could use that money to support a family or herself.
And you can fix that in your own little town. Just like I say all the time, you can start at your local businesses. If you go somewhere and you get treated like dirt, or nobody's waiting on you or whatever, are you going to keep going back to their establishment if every time you go in you get bad service? No. Okay. So if you go somewhere and you treated well and the food is good, go back. Tell your friends, this is a great restaurant. They treat you good, like a real customer.
100%.
Help them.
100%.
Help
Yeah.
them make money and make them stay in business, and let the shitty places like McDonald's that wants to feed you plastic food basically and have you have to pay for your own stuff, order everything, and pretty much won't be long and you have to go and pour everything into the machines and have it make your meal. You might as well buy the shit and take it home and make it yourself. See? But I don't know. I just think I'm praying for our country. That's all I can tell you.
And let's continue to pray for our country.
Yeah. And remember, when you go to bed tonight, say a prayer for all the people who died and risked their lives for us on D-Day in 1944, because a lot of us, I'm sure, have grandpas that were in this battle themselves somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I appreciate you having me on today as your co-host, Janet. Thank you so much.
It was fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys were awesome. You guys had some really good feedback.
Yeah, the chat was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All of you guys are awesome. And I really, really appreciate all of you for hanging out with me, even though I'm not really good at what I'm doing. I want to get better, and I'm trying. I'm finally learning how to do a lot of the stuff the video.
Don't be too modest. You're pretty good, Janet.
The music that I did for the all of the people for D-Day, I made that video. So I'm really trying to learn. But I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you guys. You guys supporting me is what makes me want to keep doing this, because I can go to spaces and just bitch and moan about all the problems that I see going on, which I do anyways, but it's nice to have my own little thing that I can control as best I can, what's going to happen, because you can't do anything about technology. You know what I mean? Either it's good or it's shit. There's nothing to do about
And don't forget, Janet has another show tomorrow night. So
yeah, tomorrow night is the
fun.
Friday night shit show, and I'll have Ruben and Orange Hat on, and we'll see what all the topics are going to be, because they come up with their own topics. And then there's a few things that I've been sharing with them that's happened over the last couple weeks that I'm interested in maybe talking about. So if you're interested and you want to just hang out and you don't have anything to do on a Friday night like me, I have nothing to do. So just come hang out with me and Orange Hat and Ruben. I'd really appreciate it. But thank you, Rooftop. I really, really appreciate your friendship, and you were just an awesome person. And I'm sorry that you still live in California, but hopefully one day,
back at you, Janet. I will escape one day. I have family here. I have work here. I have properties here, and I can't just leave. But
no, I know you wouldn't.
Everybody that is in that has a red state relocate plan. I've already been researching other states. I have fondness for other states outside of this place. But thank you again for having me. You're a great host, and I appreciate your friendship too, Janet. Take care.
Okay, well, you too. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you later.